wondered why there hasn't been a video posted for over a month. Well, here in Sydney we are in lockdown, and finally after 6 weeks there's been a single bubbles open, and Julie has come over to visit me here on the northern beaches, and we thought we'd do one of my old stomping grounds here, which is Manly-Warringah Public School. This was the primary school that I went to when I was a child, and boy has it changed. Look at the size of this place now. I can't believe it. I'll tell you what it was, Jules, at this gate here where it flattens out a bit. I can't believe the size of this place. So I'll tell you what it was like when I was a kid. So you had 2 buildings here. There was a staff room, 3rd class, 4th class, 5th class, 6th class, and right next to it is identical building. It was 2nd class, 1st class, kindergarten, and a toilet block. There was a library there, and that was it. This was asphalt here. This is where we used to play British Bulldog and whatnot. And Julie and others have asked me, how do I manage to navigate through the bush in thongs? Well, this backs onto bushland here that heads down to Manly Dam, and all we ever used to do once school ended was take our shoes off and hit the bush. So I was barefoot my whole childhood years. I was barefoot through this bush here. So look at the size of it now. I wish I had taken a video of what this place used to be like compared to what it is now. You would never ever recognise it. I remember there was an incinerator down the bottom here, and there was this gentleman called Mr. Berry. He was the most weathered man I'd ever seen in my life. Think Charles Bronson times 100. He had so many lines and creases on his face. And back then we just used to burn everything. So all the rubbish he'd pick up in the little green bins, he used to take down to the incinerator and just burn. So that was just constantly burning, that place. Oh, that's good. Huh? Yeah, take a few pics. Just keep on taking pics, and then I'll delete which ones are no good. This used to be the little canteen area. It looks like the original wooden building has gone, but that's where it was, just there. So whatever, it's a switchboard and everything else now, but that was the little canteen. It looks like this is the canteen now up here, is it? Okay, so they've made this into the canteen up here, but this used to be the sports shed here. And there's the little oval there. None of this used to be here. Right there used to be the toilet block, which spanned from the grass here all the way over to the rocks. Oh no, the canteen's down there. This is a cafe. That's how long it has been since I've been here. Let's go down the back here. And this was the beautiful oval that we would play on every recess and lunchtime and after school. Now they've got a fence all the way around now. Back here in the 70s when I was going here, this was just completely open, that you were not confined at all. That was all bush up the top there where you see the buildings, and they had a big drama trying to get all that through because you had all the locals around here not wanting them to build into the bush because it was sensitive bushland, but as you can see it all went ahead. And down here, back in the days, was known as Sunshine Tracks. Now it's just used by mountain bike riders. But all I can remember using that back in the day was motorbike riders. So we're going to have to be careful here because there's going to be many mountain bike riders. And this takes you to Manly Dam. It takes you to North Dagyala shops. And just on the left here, Jules, I had a friend that used to live just here. So we used to go to his place beforehand. Just wait in his backyard there, and then as soon as 5 to 9 hit, we'd head to school. You take a picture of that? trying not to get hit. Look at all the signs now not being able to get into school grounds. Back then everything was just free, no one bothered with anything. Now you can't do shit. Very windy. Yeah, you can walk on through. We're just starting this walk here, which was once known as Sunshine Tracks, and I don't even remember all this. This is all new, and there's bike riders down here. So they must have put a fully fledged mountain bike track all around the place here. Look, there's people coming up there. There was never ever any bike tracks down there. You have little tracks going off here as well. This was the track here back in the day, and it was called Sunshine Tracks. I don't know what it's called now. Probably what that sign said back there, Manly Dam Walk or whatever it is. Back in the day, it was called something entirely different.
A friend of ours back in Hampshire, they've offered to do.
And here you could not see that fence line. There was no fence line up there, but here was just completely covered with bush, lantana and whatnot. You'd have to, it was a big effort getting from the top there down to this track here. And this takes you to a place that we used to call back then Fireby Caves. Now again, I don't know if anyone mentions it in 2021. I've never heard anyone mention barbed wire caves. And the story was back then that a lot of the surplus barbed wire left over from World War I or II was dumped up the top here. And that's the story I remember people telling me, whether it was true or not, but there was a hell of a lot of barbed wire there. See, this is all cleared out. This was just all bush here. So someone's maintaining this. And just up here on the left, there used to be a nice, deep, really steep track. And they always used to dump cars here. Just here. And this has all changed as well. Down here somewhere. But this was overgrown on each side, and you'd always have one or two cars dumped down the bottom there. This was our cross-country run. So every time we did a cross-country here up at the school, this was where we used to head around. And at the back there, there's a nature area where certain kids would be chosen throughout the day to go tend to the pond and everything. And we're going to try to find it. It used to be fenced off. I don't know if they've taken it down, but we're going to have a look. If you ever do this walk, make sure you keep to the left, because you're going to consistently have bike riders. Just down a little bit further from where I said that they used to dump cars back in the day, we've come to a place called Fireby Caves. Again, I don't know if anyone these days is aware of this place. I don't hear of anyone talking about it. I don't know if a generation has passed away and not told the younger folk exactly what this was all about. But this rock platform that you see here, this was not as overgrown as it was. This was just completely open back in the day. It was really clear. And the story goes that there was a whole bunch of barbed wire dumped here from surplus from the World Wars, so World War I and World War II. And whether or not we find anything, I doubt very much. Down the bottom here, there would be the Oval Condover Reserve. Let me just see if you can actually see that from here. You can hear voices down there. There you can see a little bit of green down there. So that's Condover Reserve in the back of North Balgowlah. There you go, you can see something down there. Come over here, Jules. See, you can see remnants of it here. So here is all the barbed wire. I don't know if you can pick that up, but it's just decayed over the years. So all these little rusty bits that you see all over this rock used to be barbed wire. There you go. You've got some here. So exactly what I said that would be here is here. There's your barbed wire.
Wow.
See that? And there used to be a hell of a lot of it. It was just used to be dumped all off the cliff here. Look, it's all down there. So if you're a local living around Manly-Vale, there you go, look, it's all, look, it's everywhere. Okay, if you're a local living around Manly-Vale, be careful, especially if you're in thongs walking on barbed wire. And you're not aware of why all this barbed wire is laying on the ground here. The story told to us kids of the 70s, 1970s, was this was all surplus or old barbed wire left over from the war. It's still here, incredible. So there you go, you can pass that story on to the next generation because I don't hear of anyone talking about it anymore. We'll walk up a little bit further through the bush and we'll see if we can find some more on the other side. Barbed wire cave. So just off the drop here, you've got some caves there, and there's also reports of a gentleman living in there. Someone told me, a guy that works close to me, down there at the industrial centre in Manly-Vale, actually said to me, have you bumped into the guy that lives in the caves there? And I told him barbed wire caves, and he goes, barbed wire? He had no recollection of this place ever being called barbed wire caves. So either everyone's passed on, moved out of the area, or they just don't have the memory I have. See, this was not overgrown as it is like now. This was just a huge, big open platform of rock. Yeah, here he is. This is what it used to be like all around. Let's see if we can find some barbed wire here. That'll just confirm that what I'm saying is correct if there's more. I bet you if you were to jump down, here we go, I've got more here. I bet you if you were to jump down off this cliff you'd find a whole bunch more. You've got a lot of barbed wire here still in decent condition.
Cool.
Yeah. You see all the rusty, what looks like to be dirt down there? That's all barbed wire, just disintegrated over the years from the weather. All around, see all down there? I don't know. I don't know why up there. Maybe because it's sitting on the rock and not in the dirt. Maybe the dirt's dissolving that one there. But there was tons of it. I just remember tons of it back in the day. Here, take a few pictures of that. So that's a confirmation that, there you go, you can see Condo Reserve a little bit better now. I know, isn't it? Lucky I didn't wear a jumper. Alright, let's head on to North Balgala Shops, and then on the way back we'll see if we can find this nature area that used to be fenced off when I was a kid. I don't know if they've torn down all the fences or if it's still in use. Yeah, that's where we go. How do we get out of here? That way or up here? I think we'll go up here. Onwards and upwards. A little bit further on from Barbed Wire Caves, you have got a couple of markers here. This used to take you up to the Trig Station. I don't know again if the Trig Station's still there, so on the way back we'll find out if the Trig Station, Manly-Vale Trig Station is still there. Macomb Hill, maybe that's what it's called these days. Water Reserve Road, Ranger's Office. That heads down to Manly Dam. Yeah, I think there's two. No, we're going to go this way. We're going to go to the coffee shop. So you've got a couple of different ways. So that way used to take you to Manly Dam as well, but that was our cross-country run through there. So you used to have two cross-country runs. You used to have a short one for the younger kids and a longer one for the older kids, and that one there was for the older kids back. You know, this takes you straight down to Manly Dam. We may do that walk some other time when you don't have to get back so soon. Manly Dam Park Circuit Track, picnic area, Gibb Street, Manly Dam Trail. What an awesome area to grow up in as a child. running through here back then with no shoes and no people, mind you. These tracks weren't as well maintained as they are now. As I said, the only people that used to come through here back in the day was us kids pretending to be Rambo and motorbike. You always used to hear motorbike riders through here. This up here, I'm going to go up to North Balgala shops, get a coffee for you, and then we'll come back down and head our way back. So we made it up here to North Balgala shops. Jules has just get herself some coffee. We make a walk back through Sunshine Tracks. You getting me anything? You getting me anything? Local chemist, bakery, which is not open on a Sunday, butchery. It's nice to see a little local butchery still operating. Family owned since 1986. I would have just left year 10 back then. North Balgala convenience. I remember this place when I was young. I used to always hop in here and get ice blocks. Grocer. So next to the convenience store, maybe it's the grocer that I remember. Annie and Moi gift and homeware. Wild Oats wines. What's up here? Must be a coffee shop. Oh, I got a huge coffee shop up here. Maybe I should have brought Jules here. The Nectar Coffee House. Oh, Jules is going to kill me. I sent her into a little takeaway store there to get coffee. And there was a proper coffee store here. What a beautiful area. Do you want to get a second coffee up at the proper coffee store? I'm sorry, I didn't realise there would be one right up the corner here. Oh, we'll head up past this one and then we'll do a loop around the shops and start heading back. So.
Oh, this is a good coffee.
You like it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, as long as it's alright. It's probably cheaper there than it is up at this other one anyway.
He charges 50 cents.
Oh, does he? Back down at the crossroads here. That's the way we originally came down to Fireby Caves. Where that lady is standing by that pole there that takes you down to Manly Dam. And this bit here says it takes you to Macomb Hill. Now this was the long distance cross-country run from when I was at primary school. So the littlies would turn up a little bit further up that way, but those older kids would come this way. And there would be someone waiting at the Trig Station to, I don't know, to give you some water or something. See if we can find that Trig Station. And the nature area. Very keen to see if the nature area still has a wire fence around it. Surely they wouldn't take it down. Get some pictures, I think, here of these beautiful stairs. I've started to hit some other stairs now, and we're hoping that what I remember as the Trig Station, which probably is called Macomb's Hill now, is just up here somewhere. They may have taken it down, I've got no idea. The last time I was at the Trig Station would have been 1989. I remember bringing a friend up here. Don't think I ever took my son up here. I've done the Sunshine Tracks walk with my son, but Not to the Trig Station. He went to the same school that I did. I'm not quite sure. See if you can see some sort of pole somewhere. There it is. That's it, and it's exactly the same. That's exact. So this was a Trig. This is what was known as the Trig Station. It's probably call it McComb's Hill now. I got no idea either, but that's what we used to call it back in the day. This was a landmark from when we used to do the cross country. There always used to be someone sitting here, one of the teachers and whatnot. There was a plaque there to let you know what it was.
I was expecting to see like an electric.
I don't know what it was used for. I don't think it's used for much anymore because the trees have grown all around it. So if it was a marker for someone at North Head, I don't think they'd see it now because the trees are growing around. I don't think these are used. Whatever they were used for, I'll have to Google it and see what it was used for back in the day. But that has been there for, well, I was going to primary school here in the 1970s. How many years is that, Jules? You're a lot better at maths than I am.
50 years.
Near 50 years. Now, trying to find the nature area, I can't see it anywhere. So the fenced off area, they've taken it out. Come up here for a second. Just see if we can find where once was known as the nature area. It's very close to the school. We may even be walking in it, I don't know. Just go down here a little bit and see. But there was a dedicated fenced off area. Oh, the cannies. Been through the bush, been through the bushfires. Well, there's been bushfires go through here. I don't know when the most recent one was. Okay, I can see sunshine tracks down through there. There you go, some mountain bike riders are going through. Alright, so it's not here, so we've got to head back up that way again. It looks like the fence had been taken down, I think. But there used to be a pond here, so I'm wondering if there's still remnants of the pond. It used to have a little bridge on it and everything.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, sorry, did I hit you? I apologise. Okay, let's go see if we can find that pond. We've just reached the back of the school here that has encroached the bushland, and look, you can see metal poles which used to have probably a wire fence around them. Can you see them everywhere, Jules?
Yep.
I don't know if that was part of the nature area. We'll soon see. Be careful, that tree there is a little bit spiky. This could have been a nature area down here. Unless those poles have been put in afterwards. So you had a whole bunch of these poles and wire mesh fencing enclosed, and it used to have a lock on it. Nothing seems familiar to me. Yeah, this is all changed. Oh, this just takes you back down to the track. No, nothing. It's nothing, Jules. It's probably been removed. It may have even been where the school has sort of like been built. Maybe it was there because that's come a fair way in to the bush. That's what they were complaining about. See, that was all bush down there. Well, you lost a little bit of bush. Sensitive bushland. Too many people. Look how big it is. That's Cruisy's old school, but not in that form. My goodness, look at the size of it. I think there's only one original building that sits that I remember from back in the day. No. No, I think it was what used to be known as the sports shed, and it's now converted into something else. I don't think you're going to make people known that was the sports shed back in the day. Oh well, looks like we're not going to be lucky enough. But there used to be Aboriginal rock carvings down here as well. I don't know if my memory will take me to that as well, so we'll see what happens. Okay, I've come to the conclusion. We're back down here on the mountain trail bike track, the Manly Dam track, aka Sunshine Tracks. I know it as Sunshine Tracks. Looking back where the school is encroaching onto the bushland, I'd say the nature area was up here. So I think it's long gone. That makes more sense because down here used to be the original place we used to play, and there used to be like a little long jump sand pit here, and a little bit further up used to be the nature area. So my conclusion is the nature area is now where that school sits, and I'll bet my house on it. Yeah, I will, because this is where the original playground was, just here, and you can see how far back the new school's gone into the bush. Let's just go up to this fence for a quick sec. This was heavily populated bush here. It took an effort to get down to the track. This was the original oval. There's the sand pit. There you go, that's the long jump. I told you. Okay, so there's the long jump pit right there. So when we used to do our Olympics or whatever it was back in the day, that was our long jump pit. And this is where the bush stopped, right here. So everything you see up there is where the nature area used to be. So that makes sense now. Okay, I know exactly where I am now. How did that lady get in there? Didn't it say that you're not allowed into the school? I'm loving her that she's taken the jump in. Too many rules these days. Too many rules of where you can and can't go. Be careful. Be careful, Julie. Well, we have to thank Gladys after 6 weeks for opening up a singles bubble. You nominate, if you live alone like I do, you can nominate one person to come and visit you. And the last person that I saw was Julie when we did the Mount Kira walk down at Wollongong there. So I've invited over, so I'm heading over to her place next week. Hopefully do a few nice walks around her place. So I've got my life back a little bit.
But it's spaced out enough that even if you're not that confident, you can still have fun. Yeah.
Back in the day, you just have you just used to have motorbike riders, and now it's just mountain bike riders. Yeah, I know. Every single one is blowing hard. I think we'll call it a day. That's it. It is just a joy to get out of the house. Alright, Jills, until next week. Adios.